Hello and welcome to another weekly episode of Cube's Ghost Funneling Adventures. Today we're probably gonna die depending on what weekly challenge we get. Let's get right into it. We have audio only. We've managed to get hold of some extra audio equipment. You have to use your ears on this one. Fuck.
Anyway, alright. Alright. Yeah, that's certainly a quote there, or gotta say there was something to say. Hope the Banshee doesn't pull the blicky on me, I will fucking explode. Well, audio only, let's see what that's like. Also, I should probably read which map we're doing. Sunny Meadows, oh boy. Well, we'll see what they give us. I'm assuming paramic and spirit box. What else could be audio related? Sound sensors, I suppose. I hope they give us flashlights, because otherwise we'll be in the dark, which can be very tedious. How are UV lights audio exactly? I mean, not complaining. Dots? I mean, they do make a humming noise. I guess UV lights do go click, but flashlights aren't present. That is kind of weird. Yeah, audio only for viewers as well, so you better, I don't know, tab out, pause the, no, don't pause the video, that doesn't make sense. I'm sorry, I woke up somewhat recently and I didn't sleep very much, so I'm gonna say some dumb shit. Also, look at the UV light, you can look through the lauded model or something, whatever that is. Looks kinda weird, doesn't it? Well, this is gonna be a pain. Oh boy. How do we even do this? We do not get a fucking flashlight, by the way. What's my approach gonna be? We could bring the sound sensors and quickly slap down 4 sound sensors on various parts of the asylum, just to try and narrow down the location of the ghost. The AoE isn't exactly massive for how big of a map this is, but it might help out a little bit. We also don't have any sanity pills, any smudge sticks. Jesus Christ, this week might be a real pain in the ass. Oof. We do have some safety time of 5 minutes, so it's not super difficult settings. I don't know why the safety time even is there, because we start with 100% sanity, so like by the time this runs out, our sanity will probably be low enough for hunts anyway. Like, in this time frame, it doesn't matter what our sanity is like. I guess we might have some cursed possessions in the entrance. Let's not panic just yet. Okay, I think I'm gonna start by doing this. Does it show me where the breaker is? I don't see it anywhere. Or am I just being the blind? I know this is a room where it can spawn, and it can also spawn in this entryway right here. I don't know the other locations, so I might just be missing the icon on the map, because the map is big and full of detail. Well, let's just hope the, whatchamacallit starts on the breaker, so we actually get some hallway lighting. Otherwise, this is going to be... Nope, we see the breaker sparking already. This is a bad week for content creation, isn't it? Oh my. Well, I'm gonna do the reasonable thing here, which is to go to graphics, if I can find it. It's called video in this. Go maximum brightness, and well, we'll just have to cheese it this way. It's probably still gonna be dark as fuck on recording, because YouTube compression and also Twitch do not play very nicely with dark areas already. And this is likely not gonna be an exception. Okay, so let's place this one right over here. Should be far enough in to cover that wing for the most part. Don't have infinite sprint. I don't know why they turned the breaker permanently off. That is pretty rough. Candles do provide light, but not a lot. This place is very big and very dark, so the candles are just... I mean, look at how big these hallways are and how big these areas are in general. You're just not gonna see much at all. It illuminates the area directly around you, like maybe from here to the shelf, if anything. So you could use that to kind of wander the hallways and get a tiny bit of an idea, but it's not gonna be very reliable, not very effective. At least not compared to a flashlight. Like, yeah, we can see tiny bits of the map, but not enough. Also, the downside is that you need 2 items to bring candles, because you need the lighter and the candle. Because the candle will go out, even without the ghost touching it. It will just turn off after a little while, which, you know, kind of makes sense. Do I have any crisp possessions? I don't see any. Oh boy. Yeah, this week might actually be a challenge then, go down. It's gonna be very painful on the eyes whenever we go into the truck, so avert your eyes as I leave the building, because the increased brightness makes this very hard to see. So yeah, you can technically find your way around the building with just using candles, but it's not exactly... Oh my god, it's so bright. It's not exactly very ostful. Like, it sort of works, but not well, is how I describe it. I guess we could use the video cameras. Okay, let's maybe not go overboard with this. Let's bring one of these already. Yeah, it's also gonna drain our sanity pretty quickly. So, like, you can use the video cameras, infrared mode or whatever it is, to see in the dark, and it works okay. Like, with that you can actually see your surroundings quite well. But it also means I'll have to have that on my hand at all times, and I don't know. I just... whatever. It's just, like, if I was just playing by myself and not streaming this or not making a video out of this, then I wouldn't mind as much. But for video stuff, I feel like not having a good light source on hand is really bad. Like, it's pretty mean for content creation, because again, compression from Twitch and or YouTube will... apparently something else up in that direction. Compression from Twitch and or YouTube will make this a lot harder to see, even with the brightness all the way turned up. And the general consensus from what I have seen among content creators is that strong flashlights are just something you always bring, at least for your initial exploration. Like, maybe long term you leave it behind and instead do something else. Let's go back to normal and see if we can use the camera. But, like, it's not gonna look good. Yeah, these sound sensors are not big enough to do much of anything for this map. Okay, let's maybe not waste our time with that. We have some noise in the female wing. I think that's this one. That is also vaguely where we place the paramic. Not a lot of noise. Ghost is also not super active. We are almost full on sanity, huh? Maybe the sanity drain is lower than this. Huh, interesting. Anyway, let's grab this, and one of these. How do we locate the ghost, except with the paramic? I have no idea. So yeah, like I said, we can use the camera. The camera is kind of awkward, because while it does allow us to see things, we can't use any other objects while we're holding the camera, so it's not like I can have the flashlight on and then use a paramic or something. Instead, we'll have to rely on this entirely, which is... I don't know, just a bit awkward. Give me a sign. Sure, the ghost is nowhere near anyway. May as well. Batman Bongo? Fucking stuck on Robo because I'm reading chat. All of the ambience, none of the actual ghost assing up. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place this here, not to actually see anything, because I don't think the ghost will be in the hallway, or can even be in the hallway. I think they can only be in the rooms, which is bad enough. But I think I'll go and grab the paramic. So you'll see what I mean about not being able to use items while the camera is providing vision for us. Because whenever I use the paramic, I can't have the camera open, so we'll be switching between barely seeing something in the night vision mode versus only having the paramic, and it's not gonna be very fun. So let's point it at this corridor and see what we can do. There's also all this rubble on the ground to get stuck on, like all these what are these called? I don't know. I guess just beds. Like patient beds or whatever. And like these room dividers, everything is just everywhere and gets you stuck, and if you can't see shit, it's just gonna happen extra much. Journeys of stretchers, very good. Although those sound more like... Come on, Hearing Helper 2000, help me out here. Aren't those just more the portable devices? Whereas these are actually like beds with rolls on them to move around? I don't know. I'm not that good with the England. Alright, let's try downstairs. We really don't have much to work with, so... I've just been going off of the 3% audio we got on the sound sensor earlier. This might ironically be easier if he gave us a 0 sanity start and then gave us pills to recover with, so we can use the 0 sanity for the ghost to be more active and we find out where it is. And then afterwards we take some pills to get to function with it. Oh, I see. Nice, thank you. Give me a sign, please. I beg you. End of the hallway, that was my noise. Now, thankfully I've played this map quite a few times for the Apocalypse challenge. So even though we are wandering through basically complete darkness, I mostly know my way around still. But yeah, this is just gonna be one of those very dark streams. I guess that's fitting for the challenge. But yeah, I don't want to funnel with the brightness over and over, so we'll just accept that this is gonna be a very dark stream, and you'll have to enjoy this as an audio-only, or mostly experience anyway. Not getting anything on the mic, it's terrible. Let's go upstairs again. Around this... Nope, I'm too far already, it's right here. Maybe it's not the female wing then. Maybe we just picked up some ambient noise on the sound sensor earlier. That's probably ambience. That lumber is a bit too low for proper interactions. Oops, where am I going? This way. So this is where we had the 2 items lying around that are now in my inventory, the UV light and the paramic. Give you a frame of reference. 0.8 somewhere here-ish, maybe. So here's how I see this challenge going. We got another 0.8. Oh yeah, a door was humped nearby. Oh, that might be in the canteen over here. But yeah, here's how I see this going. We're gonna be wandering through the darkness a whole lot until we're suddenly low on ass, low on sanity, and then we'll be hunted, and then the game's over. And if we get lucky, then we get a fucking ghost that we can immediately identify while it's hunting us, and if we don't, then we'll just have to try and try and try until we get it. It sounded like there was a door being touched over in this area, which is why I'm checking. Let's check for ghost orbs. Maybe further down this hallway. I couldn't quite tell where exactly it was, but I definitely heard a door. Hey, give me a sign, please. Be a pal. Also, don't kill me. Thank you. Ghost orbs would be really handy if this is our main source of vision. It seemed like the sanity drain setting was set to very low or something, because we didn't lose much sanity in our first little exploration where we set the sound sensors. So we might still be somewhat reasonably high on sanity. This might be a little bit too far from where I heard the door being touched before. Give sign plus tie. Shut up so we can actually hear for a moment. It's ambience. It's also ambience, I think. It's pretty funny. Some people are always like, "Oh, why do you like get quiet when you're like?" People comment on videos or when people are streaming and like, "Oh, you don't have to whisper when you're being sneaky." Like, yeah, on one hand, sure, it's just for fun and for the ambience, but also if you yourself are loudly talking, you can't quite hear the noises that might be subtly going on. If I'm trying to listen for something and I'm rambling loudly, then I won't be able to tell that something actually happened. So I do actually have to STFU every now and then. Weird anti-aliasing making me think that it is hints of ghost orbs in this room. Yeah, it happened once again, like on that little line here. Kind of right artifacts making me think maybe ghost orbs. Hello, ghost? 0.5, that's not super quiet. Maybe you are right near my equipment, that'd be interesting. Guess that means we might actually get some progress done. That whispering, by the way, is just ambience from the asylum, that's not the paramic. Or anything helpful, really. It's just... that's the game, and you just gotta deal with that. Maybe all the doors start closed on this one, and this door... Oh no, we opened that one. But yeah, maybe this is the difficulty settings where all the doors start closed by default. I'm just clinging to any thread of hope that I might have. Just leaky ceiling, there's no ghost orbs. Ook. Are you supposed to be ticking? I think not. I think the ghost is actually here. I think they touched the metronome. Alright, time to leave my camera behind and not see anything for the next 8 years. Wait, that was me dropping the item, wasn't it? Interesting that we're not picking up the metronome ticking on the paramic. You'd think that'd be the sort of thing that the paramic picks up. Alright, let's provide us a tiny bit of light that we have. Where are you? How old are you? Where are you? Are you here? Are you close? Are you friendly? Where are you? Hello? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Please help me. How old are you? Can you hear me? Where are you? Oh, those are the clocks ticking. I thought those were natural moment. The ghost had actually touched something here. I suppose not. Ugh, whatever. Let's grab the paramic again and go back to wandering. My camera. Let's get back to the truck and just keep the paramic out on the way. At least as much as I can without getting stuck everywhere. I want to see how low we are on sanity. That's ambience. I am stuck on something. It is shockingly so hard to see in the darkness. Yeah, we spent a lot of time roaming this map in the darkness now, so at this point our sanity should be rather low. Meaning the ghost might actually show itself at some point. Maybe not in person, but maybe at least Nixon should happen somewhere. Well, I guess we'll leave this at the entrance. Absolutely zero activity. Almost no sanity drain. Okay, yeah, that must be on super low sanity drain setting. Oof. It just interacted with something and we didn't get any noise. But yeah, these sound sensors are way too small for this map. These areas are tiny. So the first time we heard some noise was in the female wing over here, but it was only like 3%, so not exactly much of anything. We very thoroughly investigated this side upstairs and downstairs, I'd say, so let's maybe not go there again and check out the western wing first. Or next, rather, I should say. I did hear one door somewhere in this area, though. Just hoping for the sound sensor to pick something up. Maybe at any one of these points, because the ghost is pretty active, it's doing things, just apparently not what we need. No EMF 5 on the chart for now, anyway. So we can probably exclude that. Ooh, that was a 5 jump, never mind, we have EMF 5. Evidence, yoink. Was the 3 dropping? No, the 2 drops. Ooh, brief sound on the female wing. Unless I saw that wrong. And this should drop by 5 now, because there was a 5 jump. Yep, there we go. Sweet, okay. Male wing sound. Ghost is basically just everywhere. It is EMF 5, so that would suggest it could be twins, which would be everywhere. Alright, Kojak. Please put the saw down, that looks dangerous. You might bump into a tree and curse the tree's entire family. Well, I mean, I guess we'll just go back to what we were doing. There's not really anything else I can realistically do. Again, the main issue with the candle is also that we can't have the candle active while also having the paramic active, which is why a torch would be so much more useful to see where we're going. Like, basically, I'd have to wander around with a candle, eventually place it, then stand still and do a pan with a paramic for a little while, and then pick it back up and then do the same shit. Maybe we'll just do that, actually, I don't know. I can't really afford to go much longer without light, because our sanity is already dipping and we do not have any defensive items. So maybe this is the strat, I don't know. But yeah, so as you can see, the candle does give off a little bit of light, but not exactly a lot. Compared to like having none, it's obviously slightly better, but it's not like we can illuminate the map with it or anything. Where is that bathroom? What the fuck? Ghost has provided us with a sign. It's a miracle. This sound sensor does not pick up that rushing water, that is... not great. Oh, why do I even try? It's in the next door, not this one. Here we go. Hey, the bone's right here as well. That's very kind of you, Ghost. Thank you for showing me. Ooh, you're right here, huh? None of that water wastage. Why does this place even have water if it's a fucking abandoned insane asylum? We don't really need to have running water here, do we? Complete waste of us. Right, so we have a UV light here and we have a video camera. So that's 2 things we can check for. The rest of my stuff is over in the far end of this hallway, which is not great, but we can probably get more from the truck instead. I'll bring a spirit box, I think. It should be the easiest to get a guaranteed response with. So camera, UV, and the second spirit box. Anyway, for those just joining us, we have a weekly challenge that says audio only, which is not quite true because we don't quite have only audio equipment, but it is designed around mostly audio. And we have no lights, as in the power is permanently off. We don't have a flashlight, we don't have a strong flashlight, so we just have to make do with what we have. I don't know why a camera is necessarily audio, for whatever reason, since this doesn't seem to be recording audio in any way. Maybe it does, I don't know. Maybe it's implied. But yeah, we're basically having to deal with finding the ghost on this big open fucking map with the bare bones basics of audio equipment. Mostly paramic is probably the idea. However, paramic is super unreliable, so it's not exactly gonna go very well to rely on the paramic. I'm gonna check this room for dots, and then I'm gonna check the other one. Actually, I'll just quickly hammer out the spirit box as well. Where are you? Are you here? How old are you? Are you close? Are you friendly? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? How old are you? Where are you? Okay, seems to not be responding in here. Let's try this room instead. Because it might have interacted with things through the wall, which they do sometimes. Doesn't seem like ghost orbs here either. Where are you? How old are you? Where are you? How old are you? Where are you? Are you close? Are you here? Can you hear me? Where are you? I did just hear it toss something over in this room, so let me... You didn't funnel this door while we were gone, did you? No. See if we get a whisper or something. Did they just give us 0.6 in that room? Maybe that was the item being tossed and it was echoing or something? Maybe there's a delay to it in the game? I'm gonna keep exploring this room with the spirit box. We didn't really do that very thoroughly. Hello, can you hear me? Where are you? How old are you? Are you here? Are you close? Are you friendly? Where are you? Ooh, freezing temps. Where are you? How old are you? Where are you? Where are you? Oh, it touched the door. Or a door, I think. Or it threw something? I think it just threw something, never mind. Well, we have freezing temps though, and most likely EMF 5 unless the chart lied to me, so that's 2 points already. Jin Shade, Oni, or the twins. Well, testing for the twins is gonna be borderline impossible. I'm gonna leave the camera here. In ground zero camera. And then we grab the lighter. Do one of these, leave this here for now. And I'm gonna go get some dots. Wait, do dots even matter for this? They do actually. Oni would have dots. I don't think it's an Oni because it would have probably asked up already, but you never know. I should check what the others are, the other options, but let's do that when we're in the truck and not losing sanity. Thankfully they made the sanity drain very low, it seems. Like the sanity drain from being in darkness for this challenge seems to be set to quite low. Because we were wandering through this building quite a bit already, and we're still... I'm gonna guess that we're around 70-65% or something. That's only EMF 4. Yeah, we're still at like 74%, so that's pretty good. It blew out the candle, I see. So that was an interaction. Right, so we could have ghost writing that we can't check for. Fingerprints would be Jin. Ghost orbs don't matter. Spirit box would be twins. Dots would be Oni. We can kind of rule out spirit box for the most part. We can't really rule out fingerprints. I would like to see another EMF 5 spike on this board just to make sure that we do actually have EMF 5. I'm pretty confident we had one earlier, but double checking can be very helpful. So if you could give me another EMF 5, please. Those are 2 3s. I'm pretty sure we can rule out the spirit box, because we haven't seen any double jumps. The twins sometimes interact with things twice in a row. Like, both of the twins will interact with an object, and then you get, like, those jagged lines going up. Like, it'll go up, and then a tiny spike to the left, and then immediately go back up again. Because the 2 interactions happen pretty much directly, one after the other. Yep, there's another EMF 5 spike. Okay, cool. So we have EMF 5, definitely. Right, dots we can check for. Well, and with the rest we'll just have to make do, I suppose. Don't really have anything to check for using the camera, like the photo cam, so I guess we'll just bring another candle to not quite die, ideally. I should go get the other dots, I think. And that room that it's in, the one with the washing machines, is pretty big, so we probably want both of the dot sensors available to cover more of the area. Dots are already kind of unreliable. That being said, we can probably deduce the dot's ghost by behavior, because it would be an Oni, and Onis would eventually show themselves and be more active, more trying to actively scare us, which this ghost hasn't done yet at all. Even though we're at, like, not 100% sanity at the very least. Right, so this is where I initially thought the ghost was, but it is not the case. So we do this, we place you down, we drop this, we grab this, and now we grab this. I did it in that order because I wanted to relight the candle before we leave the lighter behind. So the candle has maximum duration again before we leave the room. This should get us over to where we are setting up. And we have a lighter right there, so we don't need to bring this one. And now we have 2 dots to work with. So Jin would be fingerprints, and Shade would be ghostwriting, that one we can't get, so we have to rule out everything else, basically. Just clinging to these candles and freezing temperatures, no worries. To grab my UV light. Where's my torch? Or my lighter, rather. There it is. Where is my torch, game? Why, you know, provide torch. Did it just try to flick the light switch? Did I hear that correctly? I think it just tried to flick the light switch and it didn't leave fingerprints. Maybe in this room? I need to double check because these are very close together. So there's a chance the ghost tries to interact with something through the wall. Oh, it touched the door. We can rule out Jin. No, it is a Jin. Okay, cool. Very good. So, that's 1 out of 3. Do I need to confirm anything? We don't have ghost orbs. Hello? We definitely don't have ghost orbs, so it's not a mimic. We definitely have fingerprints and freezing temps. What if it's not EMF 5? Let's just say that for now. And we rule out this. It could also be a demon. Okay, it's definitely not a demon because it's not been attacking. And we can't confirm that anyway. Yeah, so it's very, 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 very likely a Jin, unless we have something very odd happening. This is going to be a long weekly, huh? Deceiving music still living rent-free in my head. As is the way. So yeah, that was over half an hour just for this one mission. At the very least we didn't die, and I'm gonna call it early here and thus jinx it, but this looks like we have found the first ghost correctly. We did get 3 bits of evidence, and we did also get 2. Yeah, this is another EMF 5 jump, so it's definitely EMF 5. So it's definitely a Jin. Unless we get very, very cheeky ghost orbs, but I don't think that's the case, because I think Mimic has other evidence anyway. But yeah, so it took us over half an hour to find the first ghost. That is a very bad sign. It's gonna be a long weekly. At least we have the strategy now, which is hope for paramic to eventually pick up something, or hope for the ghost to turn on a sink in a room that has a sink. I guess we could also get lucky and have the ghost do... It did count, didn't it? Yeah, okay, good. We could also get lucky and have the ghost activate one of the alarms or a metronome or something to give us an indication for where it actually is. But just randomly stumbling into it is going to be very unsuccessful, I reckon. Okay, so now we know at the very least that the darkness isn't that big of an issue, and we know that the sound sensors are probably not worth using. I can maybe, if I spam them in one area, confirm that it's not in that area, but for anything else I don't think they're worth using. Yeah, let's actually do that. That's not that bad of an idea. I've just talked myself into doing that. So if we spam one here, 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 and here, I would say we can probably cover that entire corner of the map and just say that there's nothing going on there. Or, well, if there is something going on there, we'll see it, basically. So just having one bit of the map left, or less to deal with overall, would probably be nice. This is where I'd probably turn up the brightness again, huh? You guys will have to just deal with the fact that this is an audio-only stream. I can very barely make out some shapes on my screen, and I've played this map enough to know vaguely how to get through the place anyway, so I don't desperately need a light source just to get around, but for a stream it's probably pretty bad. But hey, Dev said audio only, so we do audio. Ooh, hello there. Which door was that? This one? This doesn't have a door. This one? No. That's still closed. This one's literally locked. Huh, okay, well, we'll have to figure that out later. Let's go get some equipment going. Honestly, with the way they set the sanity drain to be very low, I feel like the whole audio only but no light stick could have just been an audio only but with light stick instead. Because really, at this point it's just tedious, right? Like it's not... Oh, is that a 5 jump? That's 3 to 8. Yeah, that's another EMF 5 jump. Yeah, also just jumped from 5 to 0. Yeah, that's EMF 5 again. Sweet. Got that early. Activity chart so useful. Let's get this, and this, and this, I suppose. But yeah, if you're gonna turn the lights off, but then make the sanity drain pretty much a non-issue, not completely, but pretty much, as close as you can anyway, you may as well not turn the lights off, right? Like, let people say. I guess, again, it's in the spirit of the audio only, you can't see shit sort of challenge, but it is also very annoying to play this way, I think. Okay, let's see if any of these doors are opened, as in ones that actually have doors in them. This is not opened. Was it not this hallway? Like, these are all closed, aren't they? Yeah, they don't make noise when I open them. Give me a sign. I mean, I can use this, I suppose, and hope we randomly get a fingerprint. I would have guessed it would be one of these. It could technically still be in this hallway, actually, around the corner here. This is very much closed. Also closed. This is getting a little bit too far away. I don't think the ghost is over here. It could have, of course, also just been a... could, of course, just to get banned on the DK stream, have been a twins interaction, where they just touched a door from far away, and now they're not gonna ass up again. Give me a sign. I guess they could be in the courtyard. Thought I saw a ghost orb through this window, but I think it's just always going to be graphical bugs rather than... oh, like, not really bugs, but like graphical artifacts rather than actual ghost orbs at that sort of distance and through other surfaces. Oh, it could also be that the ghost teleported over to me and then just touched something as it left, or it wandered to me and then touched something while it was going, and this is not actually the area that it lives in. Maybe that's gonna be my working assumption for now. Just hear you touch a light switch. Going insane. It's really rough not having EMF to confirm stuff like that. Especially if I'm constantly just rambling. Meaning it's also kind of harder to hear what the ghost is actually doing. I guess that's gonna be my working assumption for now, and I'm gonna leave my stuff here. Gonna get some more items, and we're gonna place the last 2 sound sensors, and just lock off this entire quadrant. And by lock off, I just mean surveil the entire area and see if anything noises up. It is very active. If it was doing things near us, we probably would have seen it. Okay, so that would indicate that it's either twins or something like Wraith that teleported over and touched something and then just left immediately. Because there was a lot of activity here, and we have this area pretty well covered. A little bit too much covered. So yeah, my money is on Wraith or Twins for now. It could of course be a Mimic. Could have, I did it again. And we'll see. Does the Mimic have EMF 5? No, it doesn't. Okay, so it can't be a Mimic. We could watch the activity chart for a while and see if we see a twin interaction pop up, which would immediately confirm that it is twins. I mean, since all we have to do is get the ghost correctly, we could also just take the 50-50. But since we had a ghost that did actually do something, we may as well just play it out. If the ghost is already touching things here and there, then we might as well play it out instead of just gambling. And actually try to deduce the ghost rather than guess for it. It's not doing anything right now, it's not very helpful. Please do something. Fuck it, alright. Let's grab this stuff and the last sound sensor. And like I said, I'm gonna go and place the rest of the sound sensors in the area now. I'm gonna spread them out a little bit more. The first two that we placed already were overlapping, so let's try to prevent that from happening. But let's still make sure that this area is thoroughly covered. I'm gonna place one down this hallway, I think, like in the female wing. A couple of rooms in. Just to make sure we have that area covered as well. Let's do here. I wish I had a better idea for how far apart I have to space these. Like, their AoE is really difficult to read. Or to get a feel for. Give me a sign. Where did I place the other sound sensor? I placed the second one in this hallway. There? There, okay, yeah, that's very, very early. Let's move one over here instead and then grab this. Ooh, it touched the door again, pretty close by. Need my detection equipment plus, hurry. Fuck, which door did it touch? It was hard to tell. It didn't sound super far away. Hello there. Greetings. Yep, you are in fact right here. Good to meet you. Hi. You're throwing things as well. Okay, so maybe you're not twins or Wraith, and instead you just happen to stop touching things that I could hear. Let's put the camera over here, I guess. We'll never be able to see again. Okay, so it's not fingerprints. I missed the door. Here we go. Yes, yes, you are present. You have made yourself known. It is alright. Right, let's go get the other stuff that we have. Man, it's so exciting when things finally happen. I guess that's the advantage of having a big open map with nothing interesting going on most of the time. Then the moment something does happen, it's like, oh boy, so exciting. You actually get to see things, you get to do things, it's great. Okay, so no ghost orbs and no fingerprints. Actually, is Obaka in the list? No, okay, so it's still possible that it's these again. As well as Spirit and Wraith. I'm gonna say it's probably not a Wraith then, because it was active near where we were. Which is apparently also near the ghost room, so we just got unlucky with the interactions. I still don't see any twin interactions on this graph. These two directly next to each other. That's not a lot of noise coming from two sound sensors that are basically right outside and inside the room that the ghost is currently operating in. Huh, odd. Anyway, let's grab dots, and we have a spirit box in the room, so I don't need to bring that one. Let's bring a second candle, I suppose. It's not a banshee, so we don't need to worry about bringing a paramic for a banshee while. I was talking earlier about how the sanity drain being low, or how you would want your sanity to be low at the start, and then maybe be able to increase your sanity later down the line, but it's actually a little bit worse in this mission, because you actually have, like, you can't even lower your sanity if you want to, because the darkness sanity drain is so low. Let's put this here for now. Get the spirit box, get the other candle, get the lighter. Hello, spirit box. And candle and lighter over here on this bed, I think. There we go. Yes, you are present. Hello. Where are you? How close are you? How old are you? Where are you? Are you close? Are you friendly? Where are you? Where are you? How old are you? Where are you? Where are you? Okay, no spirit box either. Probably an Oni, even though it hasn't shown itself. Oni would be dots, we should see that at some point soon. So Oni would also be freezing temps, wouldn't it? Because that was in the running earlier. Could make sure that we didn't get scammed out of fingerprints, but nope. Definitely not. You're throwing around a lot of stuff. Maybe it's in the next room over. That's not what I want. Okay, you can have that. Where's my camera? Wait, where is my camera? There. Maybe you're just interacting through the wall. And you're actually in here. Oh yeah, that's what's going on, isn't it? That's freezing temps. I swear I just saw a bit of fog or mist or whatever in here. Yep, there it is. Okay, so we definitely have this room, actually. Good thing I double checked. That means that the spirit box we also need to check again. Let's bring the other candle over as well. I did touch a light switch, which means I tried to turn on the light so it's not a mare, which doesn't really mean much to us because we already know it's not a mare. Holy fuck, I was not ready. It happened so quiet the entire time that I was just completely off guard. That actually startled the fuck out of me. Where's my spirit box? Where did I toss it? I do have a very bad habit of tossing my spirit box onto the nearest shelf or bed or something when I'm done with it. Oh no, where did I toss it? Pretty much, yeah. I mean, it's not nearly that bad. Did I just see dots on the corner of my eye, or was it just some freezing breath smoke? There it is. Oh, I think I saw dots. No, that might have been the candle turning off. Where are you? How old are you? Where are you? Where are you? Are you close? Are you here? Are you friendly? I literally can't see it. I was right inside of it, I think. Okay, you're probably not a shade. Let's... Okay, so definitely not this still, and probably not this either, so you're probably an Oni. We do have freezing temps and would be dots. We should eventually get some dots here. I already thought I saw dots twice. Hello there. Ceiling. Oh my god, the unloading. Oh, the culling. Look at that. The room is gone. It's gone. The ghost made the room disappear. It's terrible. Jesus Christ, the loading is quite something in this map. I already saw, or thought I saw dots twice, but both times it could have very well also just been the smoke from the candle or from my freezing breath. So let's just try to give it a proper look for a bit. My drink is empty. Just for super paranoid people like myself. Nope, okay. Do we have reason to believe that it could be anything else? It's definitely not fingerprints. I mean, we can check for this again. Since we can confirm that this is your room based off of freezing temps. Oh, it's not an Oni! Huh. What the fuck? Maybe I got unlucky with the spirit books? This seems like a little bit too active for a shade, especially since it started before we even properly asked him. Where are you? How old? Are you twins? Huh. Interesting. So we only got the EMF from the board. I think it said away. Where are you? How old are you? How old are you? Are you friendly? Are you friendly? Are you French? Let's try what the other streamers like to do. Are you friendly? Are you French? Are you pizza? Yeah, this doesn't work for me, I don't know. Where are you? Where are you? Spooky. So, this would be twins then, huh? Spirit box, definitely. Freezing temps, definitely. So those we have 99.9% confident. We can't check for ghost writing. We are not getting dots. We had a ghost ball, or an airball ghost event, so it's not an Oni. And we saw EMF 5 on the board. I don't see anything else it could be. What are the options? It could be a Moroi, I guess, if it's not EMF 5. What would that be? Ghost writing? Yeah. Yeah, I think we'll just call it twins and fucking leave. Technically, we could wait for a hunt and hear if the ghost is very slightly slower or faster. Oh, that was a twin interaction. It activated the sync and threw something right one after the other. Very good. Alright, cool. We leave. Bye. We got very lucky then that the first thing that they did was actually near their ghost room. That's also very funny because my initial assumption of, hey, it might be twins or wraith because it did something and then never showed up again, was actually pretty close to correct, but for the wrong reasons. That's quite funny. That is how that goes. Are you deaf? I mean, that's just something you have to ask if you're dealing with a yokai, because the yokai will be unable to answer. Anyway, it's time to leave. Still very high on sanity as well. I mean, we did spend a bunch of time in candlelight, so that does help. But alas. Yep, it was the Lost Twins. Okay, so 2 out of 3. This one went a little bit faster than the last one. What are we looking at stats-wise? Yeah, time in the dark, 13 minutes, 41 seconds. We only lost 52% sanity, even though we got hit by 2 ghost events as well. So that's, what, 20% more? So we only lost 32% sanity through being in the darkness for almost 14 minutes, which is kinda crazy. Anyway, this one went much better. We got really lucky with the ghost actually showing us or giving us a clue pretty early on, so that was very, very good. Let's see if we get so lucky again. I think I'm gonna stick with the strategy of setting up sound sensors in one specific area, probably the same area again, just to be sure that it's not that area that we're dealing with. Again, if you're doing this yourself, you could probably just turn up the brightness to maximum and then you can navigate this building just fine. I'm not going to be doing that for stream because it looks terrible. Like whenever you have to go back to the truck, your eyes get melted and it's not great. And also just the overblown lighting just looks kind of weird to me. Oops, I run into the shelf that I always run into. Let's place the first one here-ish. That's the breaker being broken. That might always ass up on the sound sensor, that'd be awkward. We'll see. This one over in this corner. One towards the end of this hallway. There's a sink active. Why, hello there. Don't know which room that is. That's in the men's wing. Alright then. Immediately got something to work with. Very nice. Thank you, Mr. Ghost. Or Mrs. Ghost, what's your name? Rose Martin. Thank you, Rose. You're lovely. Well, I say that. You might still kill me before I can identify what and who you are, aside from Rose Martin, so I know who you are. Never mind, don't. Hey. Whatever. Anyway, we'll just go and get more equipment. So now that we have an idea, let's just grab these items right off the bat, rather than setting up more sound sensors. It is very loud, isn't it? You can actually hear that across most of the map. Man, this is audible from far away. Not that I'm complaining. No, it's even further. It's one more room. Oh, ghost orb. Hello. Let's do this. Very fine. There's nothing here to get UV light from. That's going to be a pain. Where are you? How old are you? Where are you? Where are you? How old are you? Where are you? Where are you? How old are you? Where are you? Where are you? Are you close? Where are you? Are you here? Okay, I'm gonna say no spirit box. I heard it toss something directly next to me. Is there a light switch? There is. Okay, so that's what we can maybe get EMF from if it chooses to interact with that at some point. And by EMF, I mean UV light. Pretty active ghost right away. Very good. I mean, if you get this challenge and you roll a shade, you probably just... I don't know, you're gonna waste half an hour of your life and not get anywhere. Like, we had a pretty slow start to our first game, but like, if you have a shade, you're gonna have a pretty slow start regardless, even if you do everything correctly. You simply just not have the tools to figure out where the ghost is. And it's such a big map. Is that a 5 jump? 9 to 3? It's a bit much, isn't it? Oh, it was 9 to 4. I can't count. Yeah, that was a 5 jump, I think. Let's carefully tag EMF 5 for now. Raiju or Obake? Obake we can not easily test for. Raiju is dots, isn't it? Yeah, okay, so we just bring in the dots and then we can figure that out. Let's watch this for a moment to see if we get another EMF 5 while the ghost is active. So basically the way it works is, any of these individual jumps are how strong of an EMF reading you would be getting. So this would be an EMF 2 reading if I was there to scan the item. If it goes from this current EMF 2 all the way up to EMF 7, that would be a jump of 5, which would indicate that we would have gotten an EMF 5 signal from it. On the flip side, if it goes down 5 in one go, that has the same effect. Like, these are like positive and negative edge from the same signal, like it turning on and turning off. So that's how you can read the activity chart and get EMF 5 from that. I had heard people before refer to, oh, you can just look at the chart for EMF5, but no one actually spelled it out or explained how exactly it worked. But what I just explained is my current running theory for how it works, and so far I've been right every single time I got the opportunity to test it. So this, for example, was a jump from 1 to 2, and then from 2 to 6. That's from 1, that would be a total of 5, right? But no, it jumped to 2 be first, so it's from 2 and then up to 6, which is only 4. So this is not an EMF5 jump. And you can see this on the way down as well. It'll go down 1, and then it'll go down another 1, and then it'll go down. I was lying, apparently. Really? I guess with the different signal durations, maybe just this one ended at the same time as the 4 jump ended? So maybe we shouldn't tag EMF5? Good thing we waited for a little bit. Let's not tag EMF5 then, because I think I saw the downward edge be a jump of 5. I mean, I can't really check for much else other than dots anyway, so it's not like I can bring anything else to the room. Well, regardless, let's assume that it might be a Raiju, which is a little bit spooky, because Raijus can hunt early when there's electronic stuff around. I guess I'll just bring the final sound sensor just for fun, since we can't really bring any other items with 2 dots projectors in our hand. Cannot hold all these items. I like how I'm like, oh yeah, this is how it works. No one has fully explained it to me, so I'm going to explain it to you with the way I've been trying it, and it's always worked for me. And then the moment I explain it, it just does something that I didn't predict and that I don't understand how it works, so I immediately make an ass of myself. It's very good. But I'm still pretty confident in my reading of it. It's just that you can't look at the down-going edge, you can only look at the up-going edge, maybe. Because the signals might run out at the same time and those combine to make it look more steep than it's supposed to be. Well, that does not work, does it? There we go. Okay, so we need to keep checking for fingerprints. We only have the light switch to check, unfortunately. Let's turn this off so we can hear if things happen outside. We can check if you're still in the room, thanks to ghost orbs. Oh, no, there they are. I was about to say, oh no, please tell me you didn't change favorite rooms, but nope, you did not. Thank you very much. They're not supposed to go through the walls, but I guess it doesn't cost me anything to quickly check the next door room and see if there's anything going on here. It just tossed something, which I probably can't get UV light off of, so I don't know why I'm doubling back right away. Yeah, no ghost orbs here. Okay, so they're not going through the wall, they are actually still in this room. Very good. So if it's a Raiju, we should eventually get some dots showing up. Immediately back to no ghost orbs whatsoever. I now have the worry. Apparently you're still here. Where are ghost orbs? Fucking don't just make them disappear like that. It's not okay. Oh, there they are, thank you. Okay, so you do actually have to check a little bit longer. That was a very long stretch without any ghost orbs. Let's put you back and let's check for this again. Where are you? How old are you? How old are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? How old are you? Where are you? How old are you? Where are you? How old are you? Are you dead? Are you a Raiju? Are you serious? Are you friendly? Okay, that's pretty confidently no spirit box. Man, I wish dots were a little bit more reliable. I still don't know how exactly they work mechanically, like if it's something like the ghost writing book where the ghost has to choose to interact with them, or whether they happen whenever the ghost exactly walks onto them or something like that. But regardless, they're definitely one of the more unreliable pieces of evidence you can get. I suppose I make sure that this camera is set up so that it can actually look at the dots projectors. It looks like it should work. Bit wobbly, but what can you do? Well, I can say it's not freezing temps. Give me a sign. Show yourself. Well, guess we come back with some other shit. Let's get a candle or two. Maybe I should bring a photo cam. I can look into the truck from here, that's kinda cool. I was wondering why there was such a bright thing over on the right, but then it clicked. So what can we not check for? We can't reliably check for EMF 5, we'd have to go by activity chart, and the ghost is really inactive right now. We cannot check for ghost writing. Oh yeah, it's done absolutely nothing almost the entire time. That's not great. Ghost orbs are definitely still there. We can't smudge it to increase its activity. It did throw something. EMF 2. Yeah, the fact that we're not getting dots is kind of irritating, I must say. Let's try some other combinations and assumptions. Let's position the camera so that we can vaguely see if there's dots going on while I'm clicking around the book. So, it could be ghostwriting, which would be a Thay. I don't think so, because it would be much more active, I'd reckon. Dots would indicate one of these three. We can bring a paramic to check for Banshee, I suppose. We can't really check for fingerprints in this room, and that's gonna be a big problem, I reckon. So it's either something like this, which would be a Raiju, although we are definitely not getting dots, even though we're in the right room. So it could be an Obaka. What would that be? Writing? No, that would be EMF 5, yeah. Another spike, not a 5-1 though. This might end up with a lot of trucks sitting around and looking at the activity chart, ultimately. I thought I saw EMF 5 earlier, but it might have just been the downward thing, and we just got fooled by the downward thing as I was trying to explain the mechanics, so I don't want to set that in stone. The fact that we're not getting dots at all at this point, like that we haven't had a single instance of them occurring, is pretty unfortunate. So it's probably not dots, which, I don't know. Again, that room is really unfortunate because we can't check for, whatchamacallit, we can't check for fingerprints very well. The room doesn't have a door, and unless it goes outside into the hallway and starts funneling other doors, we basically can't check at all. It has the light switch there, but it's not very likely to turn on the light. I guess I could hump the light switch and see if it turns it off. That would be good enough, I guess. But yeah, one of the rooms that is pretty barren when it comes to fingerprints. That happens with some of the older maps pretty frequently, like prison and high school I think have a lot of areas where there's very few things for the ghost to actually interact with, and leave fingerprints in the process, so you sometimes have those shit situations where just nothing of value is happening. Someone needs to fix this sink. Won't be me though. But let me get my UV light so we can have that whenever we need to, and then we bring this thing out and we listen for Banshee Scream, I suppose. Can also quickly check here. Let's just take those ones. So you are in the room with me, it seems. Let's maybe position these over here. Maybe you're taking a piss. Fitting that we'd have a men's room piss pervert as a ghost. Wait, weren't you Rose something? Yeah, Rose Martin. What are you doing in the fucking men's bathroom anyway? Maybe that's how you died? Doing things you were really not supposed to? Give me a sign, please. Oh. Merciful, merciful signs. All of them, Jesus Christ. Aha, fingerprints. You also touched at least one more door. No fingerprints, it's an Obake! And no fingerprints on this side either. Yeah, you're an Obake, most likely. Unless I got hard dropped by the sound effects not working properly. But yeah, it touched both of those doors, and on one of them it left fingerprints, on the others it didn't. So that is very, very likely an Obake. Unless I misheard and it touched the same door twice, which technically possible, but pretty unlikely. Let's tag fingerprints. So it could, in theory, be a Banshee, but Banshee would have dots, and we are not getting dots. But I did think I saw a EMF 5 signal before. It's regular whispers, or was that the ambience of the map? Hard to say. It wasn't very loud, so... Loudest ambience in the game. Probably, actually. Hey, give me a sign, please. Miss Obake? One sign, por favor. Thank you, that's pretty good. How about another sign? Maybe something where you go fondle a door or flick a light switch, something like that? That's a whisper. Whispers are pretty good. How about instead you touch a light switch or touch a door? Okay, that's a bucket. I mean, we're working our way up. It's another bucket, nice try. Oh boy, DK. That was not a very long space exploration. Did X4 not end up panning out? Or did we spend more time? No, I've only been streaming for an hour. So that is not a lot of X4. Did the game end up being us? Oh, that's a shame. I guess that's technically better than it played like shit or it felt awful or something like that, so... Might be some room for us at some point. It's a footstep, that's also not a Banshee Scream. Oh, door humping. Twice. Might have been the same door twice. Okay, regular fingerprint. Did you touch this one? Either you didn't or you didn't leave fingerprints. Fuck. Okay, let me close these doors so whenever the ghost does touch them, I can actually tell. Anyway, to explain why we're sitting here in what is effectively pitch fucking darkness, we're doing the weekly challenge again, as every week. So, Fast Mondays after all. And the current challenge is called Audio Only. Oh, you can leave handprints on the mirrors! I did not know that, that's lovely. Still no special fingerprint though, it's a little bit unfortunate. Anyway, so this week we have a challenge called Audio Only, which is literally lying because we also have non-audio items. But a lot of the items are restricted, basically. We have the paramic, we have spirit box, we have dots for some reason, we have sound sensors, and we are on the big fucking map, and the lights are permanently off, and we don't have a flashlight or anything like that, so... That's why everything is dark, and we're sitting here with our microphone in hand, and trying to make do with what we have. Limited though it might be. Yeah, having to turn down everything is probably pretty ass for a space game in general, because so much of it is about the... I don't know, the vibe and the visuals, and having to remove all of that is kind of a pain. I'm getting every Sunny Meadows audience ambience in the game, but nothing from the actual ghost that's helpful. Let's see, are you still in this room? Where's my camera? Yep, I would say you're still in this room. Goddammit, Rose. Ghost name is Rose Waters? Something like that? Rose Waters, maybe? Martin. I don't know why I thought Waters. Well, you got a long stream ahead of you, most likely, if you want to acquire those points. Not sure I'll be streaming that long, but we'll see. So anyway, what we're dealing with is a ghost that has ghost orbs and fingerprints. However, we don't know the last thing. We can't check for ghost writing because we don't have access to the ghost writing book this challenge, so we can't make sure in that regard. We can't easily measure EMF because the EMF meter is not allowed this week. So we can sometimes see that on the activity screen that we have on the truck, but not always, not very frequently. So unless the ghost asses up a lot and then I check the truck, we can't reliably check for EMF 5. Now we can check for dots, and we've had this dots projector down for a long time and we haven't ever seen anything, so it's most likely an obake. However, dots are very like unreliable. They do randomly give you a silhouette sometimes, and sometimes they don't, even if you have a ghost that does dots. It shouldn't be this unreliable, like this is on the extreme side, but I want to make sure so I don't have to do another run of this. So that's why we're sitting here, and I'm hoping to either get a special fingerprint, because the obake sometimes leaves a special fingerprint for having 6-fingered, like it's kind of a weird creature basically. And if we see that, we can immediately tell, oh cool, it's an obake, and then we're out. On the flip side, we could get a banshee scream while I'm holding the paramic out, which would immediately tell us that it is a banshee, obviously. So those are the two things that we're kind of left with at this point. Give me a sign, please, ghost. Well, you blew out the candle, that's pretty good. Okay, how about a light switch? Come on, I'll show you. Bam, there you go. You can do this as well. I believe in you, Rose. Flee for phone, oh boy. GL, as they say. Stream until your golden path. I thought that was... Didn't you say tonight or something? Euros? What? Come on, please give me a sign that leaves fingerprints. I know you want to, you're an obake after all. Fondling things is your specialty. The Dutch land scam, excuse you? I have no idea what you're talking about. There's a lot of tossing going on. Could you maybe, Ghost, be so kind as to give me a sign? That actually helps me out a bit. Okay, if we don't get anything interesting in the next like minute or so, I'll go to the truck and we'll check the activity chart again and see if we get EMF 5, because if we get EMF 5 it's immediately an obake as well. However, like I said, seeing that on the activity chart isn't exactly reliable, so we might just have to guess. And if I'm wrong, I'll have to do another one of these missions, which is pretty ass. No worries. Aha! A fingerprint. It's a normal one. I mean, we can kinda check how long this is being up, because the fingerprint should last exactly 2 minutes. However, the obake has ability where it sometimes reduces the remaining duration of fingerprints by half. So if it uses the ability and we suddenly see the fingerprint disappear before 2 minutes have passed, we can also be like, oh lol, it's an obake. However, it's already 99% likely an obake, and it just touched a door, so we can check here again. I get stuck on every bit of rubble in the game. That is another normal fingerprint. Can you just please give me one bit of definite proof? That's all I'm asking for. It can't be that much, can it? I had a look at Demonologist, at least the Steam reviews and some pictures and shit, and I've had this ramble before. The game looks like it's very much trying to just be a cool, spooky new indie game, ghost hunting game that you play for a couple hours, then you stop getting jump scared and get tired of it, and then you stop playing. It advertises itself on its store page with the first sentence as "we look really good," which is kind of not my main interesting feature for a ghost hunting game. Like, it's nice that your game looks cool, congratulations, but it doesn't look that cool. It doesn't have that much of an interesting or unique art style to it. It looks like most other sort of Unreal Engine spooky horror games. And the emphasis very heavily seems to lie on jump scares and like, oh, constantly things go ooga booga, it's so scary. And that's probably exciting for a couple runs. But apparently the progression system is so slow that you need to play the same shit 10 times to unlock the next thing. And after a couple times, you'll run into the same jump scares all over, and like over and over and over again. And it's not, I don't know, it didn't really seem like something I'm particularly interested in. Ghost Hunter's Core I hadn't seen anything about. The name does ring a bell. I have a person on YouTube I sometimes watch videos of, and their videos keep popping up in my recommended as a result. And they play basically all sorts of indie horror games. So I've seen that name before, but I hadn't really heard much about it. Hey, could you hump some more doors for me? I really liked when you did that. That was very helpful. Mirror was also pretty cool. I hadn't seen that before, so you could do a mirror. Tossing around so many items. Alright, let's go outside and see if we coincidentally get EMF 5 so we can finally send it. I don't know. Puzzle is like a weird... I mean, maybe in the sense that you run around and interact with the environment a little bit more than in Phasmo. One thing I've grown to like about Phasmo, though, and it's the reason why I'm still playing it even though I've played it for quite a bit, is that it actually has a lot more like depth and deduction to it than it might first appear. Basically the fundamental formula of, hey, you bring evidence item, you check for evidence, you take it off, and there's your ghost, isn't particularly deep or interesting. Like, that doesn't have any sort of long-term stay and long-term, I don't know, interest. You're not gonna play that for a very long time, basically. But in my experience, like, or at least with the state that the game is in at this point, there is so much to the different ghost types. They have so many small little behaviors and shit that you can know about. That was a downwards EMF 5, wasn't it? They have so many small little behaviors and so many rules that you can learn that you can actually deduce the ghosts mostly by their behavior and their detailed mechanics, rather than having to go in and do the mechanical, oh yeah, I take off ghost orbs, I take off this, I take off that, oh cool, it's this one. So, like, there's actually a decent bit of mechanical and like puzzly sort of depth to it compared to what my first glance experiences with a lot of these other games are that are trying to do the Phasmo formula or trying to exist in the same genre. So Phasmo, maybe by virtue of having been updated for like 2 years now, I think it's 2 years, isn't it? Anyway, having been out for a while and updated for a while now, just has a lot more meat to it, and as a result, I find it more interesting. I generally don't play many horror games, so, and I tend to not find them very appealing. Like, there's nothing wrong with horror games, fundamentally. It's just, like, if I play a game and the idea is, oh, I get jump scared and I get spooked a little bit for a little while, and then I don't play it again, I don't find that particularly interesting. Whereas Phasmo, like I said, surprisingly has a lot of like depth to it, and there's a lot to learn. The game doesn't teach itself very well. Like, the fucking depth isn't very accessible. The game doesn't really advertise itself in that sort of manner, and like this book that's trying to teach you how things work isn't really doing a good job at that. So it's kind of beneath the surface, but it's surprisingly deep and surprisingly interesting beneath the surface, which is why I'm sticking with this game. Compared to something like Demonologist that literally advertises itself as, hey, look, we look great and there's shit happening all the time. And all the reviews are from people with like 4 hours. They're like, oh my god, I got jump scared all the time. There's so much going on. This is the best horror game ever. And then they'll probably never play it again. So like, to each their own. So if they enjoy that sort of thing, that's great. But it's not really my cup of tea. I'll stick with the game that I find more long-term mechanically interesting, at least for now. Or at least not in the sense that I don't want to necessarily pay for it. Okay, so I'm just gonna fucking call it an Obake and leave. We've had plenty of instances where we've given it plenty of time to show dots. It didn't show dots a single time. We didn't get the unique fingerprint for Obake, and it left fingerprints pretty reliably, which is a little bit spooky. But, hello game? We good? Okay, I thought it crashed. But yeah, it wasn't Obake, so, we got the weekly done. Very fine. Yeah. If you're that kind of person that likes the sort of novelty indie horror game where you just go in and play it for a bit, and after a few hours you've seen a couple jump scares, you had a fun time, it's spooky, it's scary, great, and then you leave and then you never come back, that's absolutely fine with me, but that's not why I like this game, and that's also not the sort of game that I usually like to play very much, so that's kind of my summed up feelings on Demonologist, and again also some of the other games in this genre. Another one I've played a reasonable amount of, for example, is Forewarned. It's a game where you delve into ancient pyramids, like Egyptian pyramids, and you have to figure out which pharaoh you're dealing with, and there's other pieces of evidence, and it has more, I don't know, interactive mechanics, and there's traps and all sorts of shit, and it's kind of neat, and for a while it's fun, but afterwards it becomes very formulaic. Once you figure out, okay, this ghost does, or this pharaoh does this pharaoh does that, it kind of becomes very samey very quickly, and you just follow the rules every time, which is how early Phasmo also works, again, in complete fairness. Like, if you start playing Phasmo, the game advertises itself as, hey, you pick up your evidence items, you go and grab your fucking spirit box, you get your fucking ghost orbs, and there you go, it's a fucking banshee, or whatever. I was probably wrong about that, but anyway. If you just work on the surface level, then the game does get pretty old and pretty tiring, or somewhat more boring, somewhat more quickly. Ultimately, it's very subjective, isn't it? But Forewarned doesn't, in my experience, go deeper than that sort of surface layer, whereas turns out Phasmo does, at least in its current state, so I don't know. It is fun. I like the vibe of Forewarned. I played that quite a bit with a friend. We went through the progression tree and all that stuff, tried the different maps and shit. It's fun, but not really that interesting long term. After a while, once we were done getting the unlocks done and trying the different maps, it was more like, okay, yeah, we've seen most of everything now, and 4 out of 5 of the pharaohs that we could have gotten were pretty boring and easy to solve once we figured it out, and the last one just kind of felt cheap, so we weren't really interested in just playing it more for the sake of playing it more. Whereas at least Phasmo has me still like trying pretty hard in a lot of these games. But yeah, anyway, rambling aside, that was the weekly challenge. I really like this one. It turned, well, I like this one with the asterisk because we got pretty lucky in 2 out of 3 games and got the ghost to give us an indication of its location pretty early. If you wander through the game or through the map like we did in our first game and nothing at all happens, it's probably pretty tedious because it's fucking Sunny Meadows, it's complete fucking darkness, you have nothing super reliable when it comes to finding the ghost. You don't have an EMF meter, you don't have the thermometer. You really just gotta hope you get a good audio cue at some point. If you do get a good audio cue, it's fun to have to figure out the ghost with a limited amount of resources. It's not great for content because the darkness isn't great on Twitch and on YouTube, but what can you do? So, I don't know. I think it's overall a decent idea for a challenge. I don't think they could have done it on a smaller map because otherwise the audio equipment isn't that interesting. You kind of need the paramic to shine, or you need a big map for the paramic to shine at all, so I don't know. And as far as big maps go, Sunny Meadows is easily the best, so it's probably the best they could have gone for, but who knows. It was alright though. And we got it done in 3 games, which is fine. Only took us 1.5 hours for 3 games. So a bit tragic. Anyway, I stop rambling.